Most people think 2 plus 2 equals 4, but some think 2 plus 2 equals 5, or 7, or 4,648.63. I think it equals 97 proof.
It's a beautiful night for bourbon. It's always a beautiful night for bourbon. Anybody who watches my channel knows that. But tonight, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've been trying to switch things up and do things different a lot lately. But tonight I'm going to do something very different. And that is, I am going to start an infinity bottle. I don't know how this is going to work. It might turn out to be a total disaster, or maybe it'll save a couple of these bourbons. I really started getting seriously into bourbon and collecting bourbons and tasting bourbons and so on at the beginning of 2020. Well, actually in about March of 2020, when they started locking us down and quarantining and sheltering in place and all that stuff. There just wasn't a whole lot to do, so I decided to get back into something that I really liked doing, and that was drinking bourbon. And I really hadn't done much of that for a few years. Well, in that time, I've been kind of proud of the fact that I could say that I never found a bourbon that I didn't like. And I'm talking about just that time period, because if I go back in my bourbon history, there were plenty of bourbons that I didn't like. In fact, more bourbons that I didn't like than actual ones that I did. But for the past year, even going back and revisiting some of those that I didn't like, I've actually turned out to like a lot. Well, recently, that theory has been put to the test. Recently, I've tasted Puncher's Chance, Old Tub, and Woodinville Port Cask Finished bourbons. And I can honestly say that while they're not bad, I still would consider them that I like them. I can honestly say that there are better bourbons at each of those price points that I really wish I had bought instead. So they've been kind of disappointing. I mean, Old Tub isn't horribly disappointing because, well, it was a very cheap bourbon. Puncher's Chance was a bit disappointing because it was something new, something kind of novel, and I really kind of had high hopes for it. I really liked the bottle, but didn't work out. But the big disappointment was the Woodinville. I've heard so many good things about the Woodinville distillery, and I was really hoping that this Port Cask Finished bourbon would really turn out to be an excellent bourbon, and there was just something in there that was just spoiling it for me. It's not that I can't drink it or won't drink it, I certainly will. It's just that it wasn't as pleasurable and as enjoyable as most bourbons. So what I've decided to do is start an infinity bottle. And I'm going to start it with these 3 bourbons. And then I'm going to add one that I actually do like and am glad that I bought. And I'm going to hope that blending them together will bring out all of the great things in all of them, and maybe put a few of those other things way into the background where I don't notice them. It's probably going to do just the opposite. But I'm going to start tonight and we're going to see. And tonight, while I do this, I am actually drinking the Old Tub. I've had this decanter for a while. I've never really used it for anything other than a decoration on my top shelf. And as you can see, I had a heck of a time trying to get it down. So let's get this set up over here. And what I'm going to do is to measure out 4 ounces of each bourbon and start there. So let's begin with the old tub. Then we will move to the puncher's chance. And then let's go on to the Woodinville. Okay, so we've got a pretty good start there. Now what I'm going to do is sample this, but I'm not going to drink a whole lot of it. Let's get it mixed together a little bit, and let's give it a try. Just a few drops. I can smell that Woodinville in here, and whatever it is that was kind of off-putting about it, so I'm not sure it got rid of the off flavors. But it's actually not nosing out too badly. Let's taste it. It's actually surprising better than any of them. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. I could drink this. Oh, but coming up just in the background, it's taken several seconds, but I can get that little bit of whatever it is in the Woodinville. But this is actually better than any of these 3 individually, at least on first thought. So we'll see what happens over the next few days. But I'm also going to add one other bourbon into this to start with, and that's going to be the Maker's Mark Cask Strength. So we're going to try that and see what that does. Okay, so that's 4 ounces each of 4 different bourbons. We'll mix that in, and we'll give it a quick taste. On the nose, it's a lot better. It's very sweet, it's very pleasant, just a little bit spicy. There's some fruits in there. I'd say some sour apples, maybe a little bit of maybe a little bit of cherry. There's definitely caramel and oak. Not as much vanilla as you would think. Some spice to it. But I can definitely stick my nose all the way into that glass, and it's not blowing me out, so it's not overly alcoholic. Oh yeah, there's definite cherries on this. I have a difficult time picking out fruits in bourbons, but this has some definite cherries. They're right up front, and some chocolate in there. Oh yeah. Gotta say that as far as this goes, I much prefer this blend to any of these 3 individually. This is good. If this holds up and actually the flavors hold up as they meld together over the next few days, I'm going to be very happy with this. Okay, this so far I would say is a success. I'll come back to it from time to time. I'll add to it. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, tell me what you think. Y'all come back now. You hear? And thanks for watching.